Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, this is a live video, so hold the questions to the end, and I will get to some live Q&As. But what I wanted to do today, you guys, is essentially go over my own purchasing journey because I have found a house that more than likely I will be putting an offer in. So I want to go over today, and basically, at first, I want to compare where we're at today versus where we were at at the beginning of 2022. And then I want to talk to you guys also about what I think is going to happen going into the future and why I think we need to remain so cautious. And then I'm going to go over several different methods and techniques that I used personally just to make sure that the house that I'm purchasing, I'm safe, right? That I'm safe in it in the event of negative equity growth, a crashing market. So I'm going to go over a lot of techniques that you guys can use for yourself as well when purchasing. And some of those things is going to be rent range or breaking your lease and things of that nature. But where I really want to start, guys, and I just want to make sure the audio is good. I see you guys commenting. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I know it's not too early. I should probably do these a lot earlier. But where I want to start, guys, is really, I really want us to understand how far we've come from a year ago. I'm seeing, it's getting a lot harder for some people to stay patient. A lot more people are, thinking the Fed is pivoting and things of that nature. So I really just want to point out where we were at in January of 2022, which essentially there was absolutely no buying incentives. There was only, there was less than 400,000 active units. So the start of this time last year, we essentially had, no, active units. Demand was red hot, and the bidding wars were crazy. We came up with the term appraisal gap. I've never heard the term appraisal gap until we went through all of the, fear of missing out. So the fact that, right now, inventory is more than double, interest rates are also double, demand is shattered. You guys, going into 2023, even if rates went under 5%, which I don't think they would, you have to understand that, people right now are not in the same position as they were at the beginning of 2022. And what I mean by that is a lot more people are broke and a lot more people are in a heavy amount of debt. So I really want you guys to understand that, because it's the mental turmoil and being patient and things of that nature. It's very, very difficult for buyers on the sideline like myself that are well qualified. So, I really, though, guys, I feel like it's important to recognize where we've come and understand also that the housing market moves extremely slowly, especially when it comes to prices going down. Going up even faster, but going down especially, you guys remember that it does take more time and it doesn't hit every market the same way. Now, eventually it's going to spread. It will spread. And if you look at, if you look at the unaffordability, if you look at, all of these things going on, I mean, I don't see how necessarily how any metro area is going to make it out of this current cycle of the current housing market cycle crash. I don't think anyone is going to make it out untouched. So, really important to understand that. And another thing, y'all, that really prompted me to make this video is I've been hearing for some reason more and more YouTubers saying, we're at the bottom. It's time to buy. Everyone rush back into the market. I'm not going to use any names. I don't want to do that. I want to stay in the solution. But, one person specifically, I heard basically telling their viewers that we're at the bottom and median home sales price was at over $380,000 and that we were up 10% year over year. So I heard someone say that and I was like, wow, maybe I was wrong. Where are they getting this data, right? So I go to their, description of the video to find to try to find the sources of the data. And what I noticed is there's no sources of the data. There's 10 ads. So when I go to the description, instead of having source data, there's like 10 things that the person's trying to sell. So, I just don't like it, you guys. And the reason I'm not trying to be overly pessimistic or, hey, the reason I don't like it is this is a massive financial transaction. And I believe that most people are not properly prepared. So I want to just, take a break. Let's go. And I'm going to show you guys 3 different sources real quick, and then we'll go more into the video. But I'm going to show you guys 3 separate sources that gives you a more accurate idea of what median sales price actually is. So let's take a look here, you guys. So I want to start here This is Redfin, and you guys know, to me, it's very important for me to source my data because I understand I'm not perfect, y'all, and I understand that no one has a crystal ball, and each situation is extremely unique, and that's why I'm sourcing the data. Now, I can sell things. I can sell gold and crypto. I get so many emails, you guys, but I specifically choose not to do that because that's not the purpose of my channel. The purpose of my channel is just let me just give you guys value and data, and let me point you in the direction of the mountain, right? You guys got to climb it yourself, but let me point you in the direction, climb up that mountain. Here's how you do it. Here's the gear to use. So, this is Redfin right here, you guys. And despite what people are saying as far as 380, and again, I don't know where the sourcing the data is. I tried to, believe these people, like where are they getting it? But I couldn't get past the ads. So I just want to point out, y'all, Redfin right here is very clear that the median sales price as of right now is $350,000, and year over year growth is at 1%. Again, there's people saying that median sales price is 380, and we're 10% up year over year. But this is just Redfin. You guys know I love using Redfin. But again, you guys, here's one data source right here. This will be sourced, okay? Here's another one. This is Zillow. Look it. You see this, right? Look at that. Okay, does that say 380? So now we have Redfin. Now we have Zillow. Median sales price, 356,000. Let's go to Fred Economic Data, right? Let's go to Freddie Mac, you guys. Freddie Mac has us at, you guys ready? Okay, is it 380? 366,900. Freddie Mac has us from peak, right? It's crazy. Freddie Mac, okay, or Fred Economic Data shows that we've lost more equity from peak than Redfin. So Fred is showing a bigger decline from peak than Redfin. And they're showing you guys it peaked at 413. It's all the way down to about 366. This represents a decline from Fred Economic Data of 11.3% from peak. So 11.3% in peak. And if we go year over year, comparing December 2021 to current, we're up 2.2%. So, quite frankly, you guys, I don't get it. I don't know why some of these content creators are using data except to push their narrative. So just be careful with that. If anyone says something like really outrageous or absurd or contrary to what you've been hearing, just follow the data, follow the breadcrumbs. Maybe they're right, so give them the benefit of the doubt. And if you want to trust, that's fine. But my point is verify, right? So let me go into, why I'm being so cautious. And then I'm going to go over, how great a deal I'm going to get on this house. I'm going to be purchasing a house or trying to purchase a house for almost 29% under 2022 peak. Okay. Plus I did my rent ranges. So if I have to sell my house, I'll be able to cash flow. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. But, overall, I think I'm jumping the gun, okay? And I think in 2023, I don't think we're going to hit bottom. I think that bottom can be possibly hit 2024 now into 2025. But I believe that if you do a thorough review, I think that some people in some markets will absolutely be able to find great deals. Okay, I'm going to say that right now. And another thing, you guys understand that right now, comparing to last year, rates are double. Okay, so about 300 basis points higher. The fact that right now interest rates starting 2023 are 300 basis points higher means essentially 30% of buyers in the past are priced out. But not only are 30% of buyers priced out going into the year, remember this, most people are broken, drowning in debt, right? According to Fred Economic Data. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is still understand that the housing market is super slow moving, okay? But quantitative tightening is working. It has already affected markets, right? But the thing is although some markets have been affected, it's going to take more time for the pain to get there. Do y'all understand? It's going to take, they are affected, but the pain is going to take longer to feel. Okay. And that's really what I'm trying to show you guys. Now I'm going to show you guys real quick some data from Black Knight that's going to go over the default rate so that you guys know what I'm saying is essentially true. We're just starting the pain cycle. You guys hear me? We're just starting the pain cycle. So please, you guys, be patient. And I know I'm buying a house, so I can't say that. Thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate you. Let me just throw this up here real quick, you guys. Really appreciate that. Very, very good. VA is a good loan. When you have a disability as a veteran, if you have 100% disability as a veteran in Texas, the really, really cool thing is you don't have to pay any property taxes, right? That's 100% disability though. And a VA is also a really good loan. Does the lender factor the PMI expectation into my back end DTI? So uh, the thing is, VA loans don't have PMI. I'm gonna get back to that, you guys, here in a minute. But I just wanted to say thank you. I got to get back to the video. I get so distracted here, you guys. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna get back to the video. Hold your questions to the end. But he did a super chat. Don't give me super chats, you guys. Okay. But let me show you some data right now. That I think is really important to understand, where their trends are going. Because a lot of, like I said, you guys, a lot of people, including myself, because I have a family, I have children, I have a wife, I have all this pressure to move. I don't want to rent anymore. I don't want to throw my money away in rent. So my emotions mess with me. So, again, it's important to understand it is slow moving. And one of the things that we can tell right now that's happening is delinquencies are going up, right? In debt, right? Whether it's credit cards, auto loans, right? But also in the housing market. And I really just want to point out right here, if you guys look here, this is a trajectory of, delinquencies 6 months after someone closed. Okay. This is for FHA, VA, and conventional. And really what I want to show you is how much FHA has started to shoot up. So this is FHA right here. That's shooting up as of, towards the middle to end of 2021, probably because of unaffordability. But right now, you guys, these trends are going up. You can see that here for conventionals down here and for VA as well. Interesting to note that FHA has the highest delinquency rate by far. But my point is, entirely that it takes time, and you guys have to understand that. Even though we're seeing massive, changes in the industry, sales are down, things of that nature, it's going to take time for that to be painful, right? And I think I think you guys really need to understand that, because if you don't understand that, it's possible that you catch a falling knife, right? And another thing that's really important to you guys is understanding what a great deal is, right? And I'm going to kind of take you guys through that right now. And where I'm going to go, you guys, is I'm going to talk about price. But first, let me essentially say this. So my target since about March of last year, and I've told you guys this, my target purchase was in February. And right now it's February. I found a home that basically I love, and I think I can get a great deal on it. So the crazy thing is I may actually purchase in February. Now, it's really important that you understand what I'm trying to tell you guys right now, which is don't follow my lead. Okay. And that's really what I want to express to so many people is don't follow my lead. Understand I'm a well-qualified buyer, virtually no consumer debt. I have a year of savings. I could pay my mortgage for 2 years based on just my savings. And I've been reviewing my market for the last, intimately for the last, year, 2 years. And I understand what a great deal is. If you don't understand what a great deal is, then you shouldn't be in the market right now, because there's too much dust in the air, even though we're seeing great trends. And even though I believe that people will be able to hunt and find a good deal, you have to know how to hunt for the deal. Okay. And that's the point I'm trying to make. And I hope this video helps you do that, because we know we can't count on all realtors to have our best intentions. So where I want to start, guys, is I'm going to talk to you guys about the price and incentive of the house that I want to purchase. Now, first of all, what I want you to know is if you guys are interested in purchasing a house, one of the things that you guys should be doing outside of accessing the charts that I've been linking here is, you need access to MLS. All right. People need access to MLS, which is live data. It's real-time data. It's a multiple listing service. And unfortunately, a lot of times the only way you guys can get this information is by using a realtor. And I have said countless times that I believe you guys should start interviewing realtors right now and have them start doing a market analysis on the area that you're interested in purchasing in. And real quick, guys, let me see if I can pull up, a market analysis just to give you guys an idea of what that looks like. Okay. And then I'm going to apply it to my own house. Now here's a market analysis right here. Let me move my picture out of the way. So here's a market analysis right here. Now this is what I want you guys to do. Okay. This is what I want you guys to do. I want you to contact your realtors. I want you to ask them for a market analysis for 2022 and 2021 and 2020 in the area you want to purchase in. This will allow us to figure out what the average home sold for price per square foot, the average sales price, and the average square footage. This is really, really, really important to know so that you understand if someone is dropping the listing price 10%, Is that even under 2021 value, right? So this right here, y'all, is 2021 value. So I'll go back, to 2019 when I'm purchasing a house. But I wanted to show you guys this because I ran reports on the house that I'm interested in going back to 2019. Okay, so again, this is the data that I'm using to analyze my own purchase. All right, so let me go back and let me talk about where I'm at with my own house. Okay. So here's the thing, you guys. The house that I love right now, understand, first of all, the price. Okay. Now, here's the thing, and I'm not purchasing in Kingwood. In 2022, the price per square foot was over $150, okay? So the listing right now, the house that's listed that I want to purchase has been on the market on and off, right? They hide it and then they relist it. So I found all that, has been on the market for 100 days. The seller is distressed, okay? The home is listed, listen, the home is listed for 28.8% under 2022 values. The home is just listed at 28.8% under 2022 values. So now it's got my interest, okay? Because the price is more important than the interest rate. And I've done an analysis on 2021. Again, you have the realtor do what I just showed you, market analysis for 4 years. That's what you need to do. And then we'll talk about the rent range. But the home is listed as well for 16% under, you guys ready? 2021 values. The home is listed for 2.2% under 2020 values, okay? The home is listed for only 94 cents per square foot above pre-COVID levels, all right? So it's almost at pre-COVID levels, which I'm, averaging to 2019. So what that means is I probably will be walking into equity if the housing market doesn't crash, right? But what it also means is like if the market does crash, say another 28%, guess what? I'm in a better situation because I'm walking into equity, and I know I'm walking into equity because I did a market analysis on sold properties in that city, okay? So now what my plan is, you guys, is when I make an offer on this house, the thing is the sellers have been on the market for 100 days, all right? And I know that they're having trouble selling it. And the reason they're having trouble selling it, all right, listen to this. This is crazy, is the uniqueness of the property. The property was almost made for YouTubers. I'm not even joking. The house has a wing attached to the bedroom. There's like 2-3 offices attached to the bedroom in a private wing. And I walked in there, I'm like, oh my God. I didn't show my emotions because I'm the realtor. So I had blocked my emotions for myself. But the thing is, guys, how many YouTubers are going to be buying that house? So for me, it's perfect. For resale, it's not good. But what I'm going to do, because it's been on the market 100 days, I'm going to be making an offer for 7%. Listen to me. I'm going to be making an offer on the house for 7% under pre-COVID. 7% under pre-COVID plus I'm going to be asking for the maximum of 3% in seller contributions because I'm doing a conventional mortgage. Conventional mortgage only allows me to ask for 3%. So I'm going to be making an offer for 7% under COVID levels, right? Under 2019 levels. Plus, I'm going to be asking for 3% towards closing costs because remember when I told you guys, I don't never pay my closing costs. Okay, so you follow me so far? So far, from a price perspective, it hits all the check boxes. Okay, so I'm just going over my due diligence. All right. And the first part of my due diligence on the house that I want to purchase is understanding if it's a good deal from a price perspective. From a price perspective, this is a pretty solid deal, y'all. It's a pretty solid deal from a price perspective. Now, let's go on to rent range. Okay. Here's something additional that I want to try to show you guys. So I want to prepare for if I have to sell the house, if I have to move, if I have to sell the house, maybe I find a mansion for pennies on the dollar, right? If I find a mansion for pennies on the dollar, I don't want the house that I'm about to buy. I want this other mansion for pennies on the dollar. So I have to ask myself, what if I need to sell the house in the next 3 years? Okay. And what if I have to sell the house in the next 3 years under an emergency basis? Right? So in order to do that, I have to make sure that I don't want to sell the house. And another thing, and also we have to expect that we can't sell our house for a profit in the next 3 to 4 years. Okay. Actually, say next 7 years. So I'm also anticipating that I can't sell my house the next 7 years because of a distressed housing market. Okay. So I'm looking at rent. I'm making sure that if I have to ditch my house, I can rent it out and I can still cash flow. Do y'all understand? I can rent it out and I can still cash flow. So let me kind of show you guys real quick what that looks like. Take a look at this, y'all. Now, this looks familiar, right? Doesn't this look extremely familiar? This is a market analysis. Guess on what? Rent. Okay, this is a market analysis on rent. And if you guys see right here for Kingwood for 2022. So I'm bringing this up here because, again, this, if you guys don't have this data and you're like trying to purchase houses, stop. You guys need to stop right now, and you need to have a realtor make market analysis for you just like this. And what this market analysis says is that homes are renting out for $1.02 a square foot. Isn't that crazy cheap, y'all? Is that crazy cheap? But look at $1.02 a square foot, okay, for 2022. So now if I'm doing my calculations, I can say, what can I rent my house out for based on 2022 values and levels? But let me tell you one other extra thing that I did, okay? So here's the thing with that. First of all, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying about rent range, doing a market analysis on the rental market going back 4 years to 2019, okay? But let me tell you what I did. And I'm going to tell you how to get creative with your financing to cash flow as well. Here's what I did, you guys. I went off of 2022 rent range and I took 75% of that, all right? So I'm listen, in order for me to cash flow, I'm not using 2022 median rent. Because I believe, and I know from the data, and I know we're going through seasonal changes, but I believe the rental market is going to melt down. I absolutely think it's going to melt down. It already is melting down, at least in my local housing market and across the nation in some metro areas. So I want to plan for the worst, not hope for the best. And that's why I'm using about 83 cents a square foot. So when I'm calculating what I can rent my house out, listen, I'm not using $1.02 a square foot. I'm using 75% of that. Do y'all hear me? To cash flow. So I'm being cautious. Do y'all hear me? Right? Y'all see what I'm saying? I'm not taking 2022 median rent range because I believe that rent's going to be going down. I'm taking only 25% of that to cash flow. Okay? So I hope that makes sense to you. Now, once I determined, based on the square footage and the 25% less 2022 rent range, I now know how much I can possibly rent my house out for. Okay? If I purchase the house, I now know how much I can rent it out for, even if I go down 25%. The reason why that's important is I need to know how to set up my financing, okay? I need to know how to set up my financing in order to properly cash flow because I'm not going to pay all cash for the house. I don't personally think that I love you, Jeff, so much, man. You know that. We talk all the time. But, I don't think people should pay all cash for houses, especially right now. I think we need to stay in liquidity. And we need to invest our cash, quite frankly, because some of the best buying opportunities are through a recession. So, let me tell you how I'm doing my financing. So now that I've calculated my rent range, how much I can rent my house out for, I then start playing with my numbers from a mortgage perspective. And what I have found is basically, in order for me to cash flow at 75% of median rent, right? I'm going under. I need to do 10% down on a conventional mortgage and pay the PMI up front. When you purchase a conventional mortgage, you have the option to pay all of the PMI up front. The advantage of doing that is it's easier to cash flow and it's 100%, for me, it's tax deductible. So I'm paying the PMI up front, it's tax deductible. I'm okay with that. It brings my mortgage payment down an extra $150 to $200. So again, I found my rent range and I also got creative with my financing to cash flow. I need to put 10% down and pay all the PMI up front, okay? And then I'm able to cash flow. But again, you guys, that's something that I really, really want you guys to do as well. Do your rent range. Now and I'm going to get to the questions here, in a second, you guys. I'm going to get to you guys in a second. Now, another thing that I want to tell you guys is I had to also think about the resale problem. So one of the reasons why I can get such like I said, a crazy good deal on this is because, they can't sell the house, right? Because they have a private wing in this house designed to work in, right? And honestly, guys, it's amazing. There's like 3 offices, like connecting to the bedroom. The first office, it would be like my studio right here. And then there's a second office that's like soundproof. I'm like, who lived here? The second office is soundproof, and I want one of those TVs, those touchscreen TVs where I can write on, and that's the type of content I plan on bringing you guys. And then the last office is like the storage for like everything, and it's all air conditioning. It's just so great. But the problem is the resale value is going to suck. It's going to be really hard for me to sell that house or rent it out if I need to because of how unique the property is. And I just want you guys to understand that. And I want you to realize that. So in order for me to have found this amazing, great deal, it's from a distressed seller that can't sell their property. You have to ask yourself, why can't they sell the property? In this case, it's because it's like made for YouTubers. I have no other explanation than they're either like a YouTuber or a musician, because the room is soundproof, right? Isn't that crazy? But anyways, guys, so here's another thing that I want to talk about, and we're almost ready for some questions here. I also told you guys I was leasing right now. My lease is good, till June. Okay, so the thing is if I put an offer in February, does that mean I have to double up on mortgage and lease payment? And the answer is yes. So when purchasing a home, you guys, it's really important to understand the strategy of picking a closing date. Listen, it's really important to understand the strategy of picking a closing date. And the reason that is when you close, you skip 1 month. All right. So you skip a month. So because I have a lease that's up in June, if I make an offer and I'll wait till February, if it's not on the market, I'll just walk away. But if I put an offer in on February 1st, I'm going to have a closing date of April 1st, right? If I have a closing date of April 1st, first of all, I don't have a mortgage payment in April because I'm closing. So if I close April 1st, no mortgage payment in April, I skip 1 month in May, my first payment is when? June. When's my last payment of my lease? June. So that means I only have one double up payment on my lease. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Be very strategic. If you're leasing like me and you have to break a lease like me, be very strategic about your closing date and understand that you do get to skip a month, and that helps alleviate any double payments. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. So here's the other thing, you guys. I already told you, I don't think we're at the bottom. I think most people should stay out of the market. I still believe overall, for sure, the knife is still falling. I believe overall, we got a lot more room to go down, you guys. Okay. And that's why I'm trying to tell you guys to be super extra cautious. But here's a few other factors that go into me purchasing. So I went into price. I went into the rent range. Okay. Canceling my lease, but also, you guys, I'm properly, and I went into a little bit of this, but I'm properly prepared. I have no credit card debt. I have 1 year of living expenses, and I expect negative equity. Do y'all see how I'm like a stepped up buyer? I expect to not be able to, I expect to be stuck in my house. But the other thing you always have to realize is another thing that I'm taking into account when purchasing, and I feel so guilty because I don't want to lead you guys astray. And that's really what I'm saying here. I do feel guilty. I don't want to lead you guys astray. But something that I have to take into account for my own personal situation is my family, you guys, and my mental health. I work like crazy out of home, and we're in some little rental right now, and just really right out of this door right there, all kinds of activities going on. I got kids and cats and all kinds of crazy stuff going on out there. So there's a certain element of mental health and just, you guys, I don't know if you guys feel me on this, but I mean, I got to move on with my life. I found a great deal, and there's an aspect of mental health. We've got to take care of our families. And another thing is now I could start tax deducting. So the beautiful thing is like, I will have a lot more tax deductions. And the other thing, let me just this last thing, and then I'm going to take some questions here, you guys. My mortgage payment would only be $200 more than what I'm renting right now. Okay. And this is a small rental house. So for $200, I will now be able to own this property. Again, 10% down, paying PMI up front. And that is until I file my homestead for taxes, because taxes, you guys, in Texas are so bad. So when I file my residential homestead, I may be able to get my mortgage payment close to what I'm renting right now. So anyways, you guys, those are my conclusions. That's kind of some of the strategies that I'm using here. And I hope that helped you guys. I really do, because again, it's just 2023 is still a dangerous year. I'm going to be honest with you. It's still a dangerous year for anyone that hasn't been doing their homework, and for anyone that just jumps the gun. So I want to make this clear. I believe I'm jumping the gun. I believe that I'm going in the market where the market's still falling. But you guys, look at all the protection. Look at all the due diligence I've done up front, right? I've asked myself, negative equity. What if I have to rent? What if I have to sell? I'm getting it's listed for almost 29% under 2022 values. So I hunted, and I can't believe it. Honestly, I can't believe that I found this house. I can't believe it. So, I'm probably going to be making an offer, you guys, this time next week, and I'll keep you guys up to date on that. And I will not pay my closing cost. And I am going to be making an offer under listing price, even though it's listed so low. They can't sell they can't sell the property. And the thing is this, listen, if I went into that house and I acted excited, if I had a realtor, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. They can use that emotion against me. Remember that, right? Remember that. So anyways, I guarded myself. Other than that, guys, I'm going to conclude this. Let's go to some Q&As. If you guys, put some questions up here, guys. I'm going to see if I can find any questions. Let me scroll. Let me see here. What do we got? What do we got from my man, Brian Gomez? What's up, Brian? Happy Monday, brother. Do you think Florida will be the last to fall, if it does at all? The thing is Florida is really surprising me because it's so unaffordable. I honestly thought it would have shown more decline. But remember, you guys, we see the market changing, right? But we haven't seen the pain effects. It's taking Florida longer to experience pain effects. But the market's shifting. So I'm very confident that Florida is going to go down. Now, a lot of people say that Miami is going to be immune, but I just don't see that because look at what's happening in California. Almost everywhere in California is going down in median sales price year over year. Year over year, California is all jacked up, you guys. That means anyone that purchased in the peak in almost the entire state of California, anyone that purchased at the peak everyone is almost upside down completely. So that's not good. Let me keep going here. Kim, I'm sorry, you guys. A lot of questions came up here. I'm already kind of behind on these questions. I want to pull up Jeff's comment here in a minute. Do seniors get property tax breaks in Texas after? Yes. So if it's a primary residence, right? It has to be a homestead or primary residence. In Texas, there are additional homesteads for 65 or plus. So definitely go to the county that you're interested in purchasing in, usually the county clerk's office, and they'll explain to you how to file a residential homestead and the benefits. Now, here's a question for Jeff, okay? And he brings up a good point. Let me explain this. So find a deal that works for you, end of story, right? Everyone's situation is so different. Find something you love that you can afford and you don't have to rely on refinancing. So this is the reality, you guys. And Jeff is absolutely right. My concern is most people don't understand what deal works for them. And I hate to say that. I hate it. But I got to play the odds. And that's why I am so cautious is I don't believe most people are equipped like Jeff, maybe Deuster, like myself. And I'm afraid that people are going to think they're going to get a good deal when in reality they could have got a much better deal if they would have waited 3 months, right? And that's another thing. And Jeff is absolutely right. First and foremost, that's the end result. You got to find something that works for you, that's affordable. Jeff is 100%. But remember, after February, you guys listen to me. After February, the cat is going to be completely out of the bag. That's when we're going to see people freak because remember, after February, spring inventory dump starts coming. And that's when I suspect insanity year-over-year price decline, right? Because that's when, in 2022, that's when home values started skyrocketing up again, which was towards the end of February. So y'all wait till the end of February and you're going to see a lot. And really, and here's the thing, between, I believe about March and September, I think that's going to give us all a lot of clues onto what's going to happen in the future. I think the next few months coming up here, you guys, super important. Okay, let me get through this real quick. So JJ, Travis, time period for 3 pre-approvals to show up as only 1 hard credit report. Now, I had always thought that was it's called a grace period. I thought it was 30 days, but I listened to this. It was a realtor though, but there was she was a credit expert. Again, there was a realtor. And this was 2 weeks ago. And she said there was only a 2-week grace period. So I'm going to look into that. I was always told 30 days, but the thing is they may have changed that. I already answered this question. I'm going to just, I don't know, man. I would have to do some research, my man, and look at, where job growth is and things of that nature. And then, but the thing is, Rick, do your analysis. The analysis that I just did, do it. Call a realtor in Dallas and do your market analysis. It takes me 5 minutes as a realtor to access MLS and to break that data down like that. 5 minutes. Your realtor should be doing that. Will you cover the market in Memphis, Tennessee in one video? It's really hard for me to do that because there's so many metros. But Yen, remember, I'm trying to show you how to do it, right? So you can do it. Right? So you don't have to trust people. You don't know me. That's the fact. You don't know me. I love you. I do, but you don't know me. You need to do this yourself, okay? And I love you. Thank you for the question. All right, let's keep going here. I agree with Dooster here. Not the last 2 years, MFH. The seller paid no closing costs. That's what I'm saying. Like, remember where we're at right now compared to last year. This time last year, sellers weren't paying closing costs. You guys, you had to put 50 grand. You guys don't remember this. Over asking price to secure a property this time last year. So no, but now, like I said now that the market's shifting, sellers are going to have to pay closing costs because they can't sell their house any other way but offering insane incentives. So 3% for conventional, 4% VA, 6% FHA. All right, let me just keep going here. Thank you for your videos. What are your thoughts about Central Florida? I think it's going to crash. It is surprising me that we're not seeing the pain hit yet. And make no mistake, guys, I don't want people to go through pain. But sadly, that's probably what's going to happen now. Hopefully on this channel, we can prevent a lot of that. Okay. Let's see. Do you think San Antonio market will look like going into 2024? I think it's going to be bomb. I think Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, as a result of the overwhelming amount of new construction, I think we're going to be able to get good deals going into 2024 and 2025. Now, it was hard for me to see that last year because, again, we don't know what's going to happen in 2024 presidential election. But I'm starting to, like, what can they do? No comment, man. I'm going to throw that up, but I'm not going to comment on it. All right, let's see here. Let me keep going. Ray's got the right idea. You lowball. If you guys go out in this market, I don't care if it's listed under market value, you still lowball. The home I'm interested in is, you guys, 29%. It's 29% under market. I'm not going to offer that list price. Why would I do that? I'm lowballing. It is what it is. All right, I'm lowballing. All right, let's see what, if you guys can't wait, keep waiting. But if your situation calls by now, you got to do what you got to do. And again, yes, you do have to do what you got to do. And one of those things, in my opinion, that you got to do is due diligence, rent range, market analysis, flow, right? Put enough down, be creative enough with your loan to flow, and don't use 2022 rent value. Okay. Don't use 2022 rent range. I'm telling you guys, the market's going to crash. And if you use 2022 rent range to flow, you probably are not going to hit it. All right. I'm not sure about East Orlando, brother. Let me keep going here. I would say this 2 master suites is a unique home as well. I wouldn't mind 2 masters. I'll use the other master for my office. I ain't letting my kids take it. You know what I'm talking about? My kids don't, master. I don't want them to be spoiled. Okay, this is good. This is a good question. If I change my job, will it affect me getting a house? Same field of work, just more money. Here's the thing. Listen to me very, very carefully. When it comes to lending guidelines, it's even more specific than our own personal reasons to purchase. Just like Jeff said, it's all situational. Same thing with lending, only way worse. And I've been in lending for 21 years. I'm just going to say this right now. You should not change your job. Not change your job if you're in the middle of purchasing a house. If you do that, 99% of the time, you're going to destroy your loan. Okay. But answering Broderick's question, if you're not purchasing right now, right before, if you transfer in the, it's W2 to W2, you're generally good. Okay. You're generally good if it's W2 to W2 in the same line of work. There's a little bit of overlays, but if it's W2, W2, you're pretty much good, brother. So if you can make more money on another W2 job, I say go for it, as long as you're not in the middle of a transaction, but talk to a lender. Now, if it's W2 to 1099, you're doomed. If you go W2 1099, you're on timeout. You can't do nothing for 2 years. And the reason that is generally, in order to use self-employment or 1099 income for qualifying for a loan, you need 2 years. 2 years of tax returns. Okay. So I hope that made sense. Let me keep going. I like VA. So here's a good one, you guys. I'm going to say it depends on your VA funding fee. Veronica, almost in every scenario, I believe that VA is the best loan because it doesn't have mortgage insurance, but it does come with that VA funding fee, which I believe is 2.65% for the first time and 3.15% for your subsequent use. So if Um, if you can get a similar rate on a conventional mortgage, because if you put 30% down, you know you don't have PMI. Okay. So it's still hard because VA generally has lower rates than conventional, but if your conventional rate you can match to the VA loan, it's probably going to be better to do conventional if you have to pay the VA funding fee. Hope that made sense. What's up, Mealy? How are you, girl? How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Okay, let me keep going here, you guys. Okay. Could you do a video on front end and back end one day, brother? I would love to see and hear how a broker works through those equations. Yes. So real quick, I love that stuff so much, you guys. The problem is I used to do videos like that. It just tanks. Like no one watches those videos, and I think those are my funnest videos to make because I get to take you to my boring job and like, oh my God, you guys want to watch my job? But the thing is I already did that on my FHA video. You guys go back into my videos and research the FHA video I did, because towards the end of that video, I bring you behind the scenes to access a loan application as if a lender was looking at it and how to run like automated underwriting system. So go check that video out. That's an FHA video. Really appreciate you guys. I'm really trying to get questions that I can answer. The ones that are specific markets, you guys, it's a little bit hard. Okay, how many points go down for one credit pool? You have to understand, Gina, that different industries have a different level of decline for an inquiry. So like if I shop for credit cards, that inquiry decrease will be different than if I shop for homes. And I cannot remember, there's been so much change, but I believe, don't quote me here, I think it's 5 to 7 points. For mortgage, 5 to 7 points for the inquiry. And I was told, and I've always known a 30-day grace period, but recently I heard 2 weeks. So I want to do more research on that. So if you go 1099 to 1099 and you have a 2-year history, you're okay, you know? And yeah, 2 years consecutive plan, but W2 to W2, I think we're good here. How do you feel about? I don't like ARMs. I mean, ARMs work for. Generally, I have to be so careful here. ARMs work for investors or people that are in good positions. I don't think, and I believe I'm in a good position. I'm still not going to get an ARM. I don't want to get an ARM. I understand ARMs. I'm not going to do it. Because we live in the U.S. and we can have fixed rates. Why would I have anything but fixed rate? I mean, we're blessed with that, you guys. So here's a good question: what do I consider a lowball offer? Like 20% below asking. And the thing is Eric, you should know that it doesn't matter what's below asking, okay? Because if the asking price is 20% above market value, then it doesn't matter. The important thing, my friend, is your under market value. In order to determine that, you need a realtor's help generally by accessing MLS or live and active data, do a market analysis. And then so for me, what I'm considering lowball, 7%. Listen, my lowball offer is 7% under 2019 levels. I'm going back to 2018, y'all. I'm going back to 2018. So to me, that's a lowball. All right. So now my client that I'm representing right now, we got about 10% under listing, and the listing was maybe like 3% under market, but they couldn't wait. And I tried to calm them down. They wouldn't. Let me see here. Question: how are you going to be my realtor here in Folsom, California? Johnny, you need to become a realtor, bro. You need to become a realtor, man. I'm just saying, get your license, Johnny. Get your license, Johnny. And then you can access MLS data with me. And guess what? If you're a realtor, you can use your commission as a down payment. Did y'all know that? So I didn't even say that. So when I go to purchase this house, I can use my generally 3% commission to be used as a down payment. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. Let me keep going here. Good one. I'm bringing this one up here. And I know I said that I wasn't going to do specific markets, but the reason I'm pulling the Woodlands up is I may switch from Kingwood to the Woodlands. I may do that. You guys know I've been trying to stick in Kingwood, but it's, the frustrating thing about Kingwood is just like super duper small. And I felt like we've kind of utilized it to the max, right? And the thing is, the Woodlands is a much bigger market. So I actually want to shift to the Woodlands. And I'm going to tell you what I found right now, Mark, in the Woodlands, the rental market. The rental market right now in the Woodlands, man, I did a rental analysis on the Woodlands about 2 weeks ago. It's shocking. I believe the Woodlands is going to go down. That's one of the best areas to live in Houston, in my opinion. And that's actually where I moved from California to the Woodlands. So I think it's really great. I think all factories or new employment will affect pricing somewhat. The question is it? I don't think it's going to affect it like it did through 2019 to beginning of 2022, where like Austin, Boise, places like that blew up as a result of the job market. But the job market is always going to have a play. Okay, so my man Jim here is asking, what's the best strategy for down payment? I'm going to tell you that strategy differs, in my opinion, based on the cycle that we're in. If we were in a normal housing market cycle, I'd be, all means, put 20% down, 30% down, whatever. But we're in a housing market cycle where it's possible that we lose our down payment in the sense that the negative equity, right? So my strategy is to put as least amount down that I have to in order to cash flow at 75% of median rent. So whatever that down payment needs to be to get you to flow, brother, that's what you do. But on conventional mortgages, only conventional, 20% down does eliminate PMI. But if you do that, you get a higher rate. So the difference in interest rate from 15 to 20% is higher at 20% because the lender doesn't have the protection of PMI. Who makes these rules, right? And crazy. I'm not sure if there's people advertising on my channel here. Very interesting. Let me keep going. I think that there's going to be hope everywhere. Interest rate. So they're already doing this. And if you guys have heard of buy downs, it's not true buy downs, you guys. Oh, there's Deuster. Hey, Deuster. Really, dang it, Deuster. So where was I? So it's not a real buy down that you're hearing with builders. They're instead a buy down is where you pay money and the actual interest rate goes down. The buy downs that you guys are seeing right now, and the answer is yes, I believe that sellers are going to keep doing that. But what you guys are seeing right now in the market are buy downs is the seller puts a whole bunch of money in an escrow account. The seller puts a whole bunch of money in an escrow account, and that money in the escrow account is used to help make your payment. It's like an assistance. It's crazy. It's not even a buy down. My man Deuster, you guys, Deuster, I said don't be spending money, man. I really appreciate you, Deuster. Let's see what he has to say. Remember, everyone, for the average person, it's probably wise to continue waiting. Yes. However, deals are starting to pop up. And he's right, you guys. That's why I've been telling you guys the whole time, be experts in your market. Why do you think I've been taking you through this journey? You guys should know, right? You guys should be using Redfin, CoreLogic, Black Knight, contacting your realtors, MLS, rent ranges, right? You guys should, if you're following me, you guys should be tip-top shape as far as knowing what's going on, right? Don't try to hit a home run putting a few extra bucks in your pocket at the expense of your family and kids. It's a balance game. And he's absolutely right. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to play devil's advocate. And he's 100% right, you guys, because I'm going through that right now, personally. Because it's really hard to do video and be in that mindset and focus when, dude, my kids are like fighting right out that door, right outside this door right here. And that's not soundproof, you guys. So, you guys, it's a primary residence. He's absolutely right. My caution is, though, if you're not doing your homework, it could be worse. If you're not doing your homework, you get trapped in your house, it's going to create an even worse situation, more than likely than what you're in now. And that puts a tremendous amount of burden and stress on children and spouses. So he's 100% right. But that doesn't mean that you get to cut the corners and skip due diligence. You agree with that, Deuster? Don't skip due diligence. Okay? This is crazy right here, you guys. This is a good question. Do you think resale versus new home war will start soon? I feel like the builders are holding their cards. This is so exciting, you guys. I found a second home in Kingwood, okay? So I found one home already, new construction home under resale value. I found a second home last week. So it's already happening in my local housing market. And if new construction, this is insane, because there's a lot of new construction in my local housing market. But if new construction goes under resale value, y'all, it's going to start a price drop war. If resale owners can't sell their house for under new construction, most people are going to buy new construction. It comes with a 10-year warranty. Just saying. I'm seeing it already. And that is, for current homeowners, it's bad. All right. So if current homeowners, I'm not laughing at you. You know, I just want you all to know that. Let me keep going here. Okay, I'm trying to look for some questions. Okay, here we go. What document do you get when you pay off your mortgage? Maybe a certificate. I'm not sure. I'm actually, the interesting thing is I'm about to pay off a mortgage. I have two investments. I have converted my primary home into a rental. I'm cash flowing, and I also have another investment where I actually did owner financing. Um, and I'm about to pay off that mortgage on that house. It's a long story. Texas VA Land Board. This is a really good loan. If you guys are in Texas, the Texas VA Land Board is a really great program for veterans. It allows you to get a super low interest rate. Okay, let me keep going down here. And I know I'm so far behind on these questions. I am so sorry, guys. I'm looking for some good ones here, and they're all really good. What is the current rate of cancellations for new builds? It's high. It's really bad. And here's the thing. I'm glad you brought this up, Matt. You guys, I already did the KB video. I just haven't edited it yet because I'm so burnt out, and like a new story comes up and I keep bearing it. I already did the KB 68% cancellation rate video. I was like, oh my God. And then Reventure Consulting, which by the way, thank God that man is back. It's really refreshing to hear someone that's like, he gets it. He's cautious, right? I don't always agree with everything he says, but thank God he's back. But I already have the video recorded on new construction cancellation rates. It's just not out. My plan is to put that out actually this evening. But understand, I recorded the video before Reventure put it out, all right? I don't want you guys to think I'm copying, although I would happily copy some of what he does because he brings up absolutely just really remarkable points. Not copy, but there's a word I'm not saying that would be better. Okay, let's see here. What are your thoughts on the foreign investors? Yeah. I think it's bad. And I think that we've learned that there are many foreign investors that are disguising their identity to purchase real estate in the US. And that is bad. And they do it through hedge funds. They do it through various things of that nature. And I think it is bad. And one of the bold things that Canada did is they banned, I believe, for 2 years, any foreign investment. So I think that we should. I think that we should myself. Okay, so this is a fleeting. Here's the thing, Alex. We're not in a normal market. So when we have radical changes of interest rates, pretty much every interest rate costs money. Listen to me, okay? Generally, when we have extreme rate swings like we've been having, it shocks the market. And in order to even close on a loan, a lot of people have to pay 1, 2, 3 points to close because of the volatility of the market. So if you do that, and then you then want to pay down and buy down rates even more, it just depends, man. We used to like buy down a point, get a half a point off on the rate. That was back in the 08 era. That's all gone. Normally, it doesn't make sense to buy down. Normally, it doesn't make sense. Okay, what is this? No, absolutely. Well, it depends on what if your credit score is 500. No, if your credit score is 250 and it goes down 5 points, that's 5%. But I could tell you guys, I don't know if you guys, I think you guys are talking about inquiry. It's 100% not. Listen to me. It's 100% not based on percentage. Whoever said that, I have no idea where they got it from, but do not believe that. It is not. It is a FICO. It is a point range, and I believe it's 5 to 8. I'll have to redo that, but it's definitely not a percentage, which is good. Thank you, Ima. How do you feel about can you go FHA or Texas Land Board and save you first time VA loan perks? Yeah. No, you can't. Well, the Land Board is in conjunction with VA, but if you do FHA, and then because remember, VA is a primary residence loan. So if you purchase another primary residence after eventually, that's something you could do. But why would you do that when rates are high right now, right? Just saying. Earl is a VA refinance, which is a loan refi, no fees, one time. There's still going to be fees, Linda. I mean, there's always fees, but it is good. It is a good program. It's similar to a Streamline FHA. Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to go faster, guys. I really apologize for the delays here. I'm just trying to. It's really hard to like control all this stuff and then read the comments. Mad love to you guys. I don't want to. I was in Hurricane Harvey, brother. We pulled out 88 people. I got an award and everything for saving people in Hurricane Harvey. I'm going to be honest, man. We can't win against Mother Nature. And that actually showed me that in Hurricane Harvey. I mean, it shocked my soul. It changed the fiber of my being. I mean, I watched people get swept away in water right in front of me, right? And it was elderly people. I saved every single one, though. I jumped in the water, saved them, but man, that messed my head up. All right, let's keep going here. Let's keep going here. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? What else? No, it's 20%. No, I don't know. 30. No, it's so if you don't want PMI, you got to put 20% down. I'm going to put an offer in. I don't know if I'm going to be buying, but go back and listen to this video and you'll see all the reasons why I'm putting an offer in an environment where there's a falling knife. So the house market is still a falling knife, but I believe the house that I'm purchasing, I think I'm going to be well insulated. What do you think about current offers from Lennar, 75K and incentives? I think that's desperate and also really motivating, right? It just depends on your rent range. It depends on your market analysis, right? That's what you guys should be reviewing now. Don't even look at Redfin at this point. If you've been following along with me, don't even look at Redfin and Zillow. You need to be on the phone with a great realtor, okay? And get your data, get the MLS data, you guys. Because remember, real estate is hyper local. Joey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, dude. Always appreciate hearing from you. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, there's another question after that. If I buy a house with FHA, can I then sell the house? And yes, bigger house with a VA loan. Yes, absolutely. I mean, as long as you qualify, as long as you, based on just that question, yes, but you have to fit the quality. You have to qualify, right? Well, not where I'm at. Let's pull this up real quick for her. Let's go to Lennar real quick. I'm going to tell you guys, at least in my market. Now, I understand different, like in Jeff's market, in St. Louis, he doesn't have the same price cuts, but I'm going to tell you guys, anyone that says don't lowball, I wouldn't do business with them myself because, realtors are servants of their customers. So if they say don't lowball and they're persistent, I just, to me, I don't trust that. But let me show you guys this. So here's Lennar. It's the number 2 builder in the world. I'm sorry, not in the world, but in the U.S. Okay, so number 2 in the U.S. And immediately when I come on here, we can scroll down immediately and look at some price reductions. Here's 29,000, 27,000. $83,000 off. I mean, there's a lot of sold stuff here, but also where do we go, right? We just type in here, Fred, right? New home inventory. All right. So here we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh, how easy is this to do? And if we take a look at the 10-year map, we can see that new home builds have an enormous amount of inventory, an absolutely enormous amount of inventory. So I'm not sure if that, but she brings up a good point, which is like they do try to keep the prices up, and that's why at first we see so many incentives first. But again, real estate's about local market. In my local market, there is so much inventory that the incentives aren't working. So in my local housing market, I'm lowballing like crazy, right? But again, I don't know what market she's in, but that it's very, very possible. All right, so you guys, I'm gonna start wrapping this up here. Let me see here. Let me keep going. Oh, what's up, Orlando? Love this man. This guy's very intelligent. You guys have I consider him a dear friend. I mean, he's helped me through so much. I get super stressed out. All right, if you're with so much content and performing for you guys and giving you guys value and data, it's really, really stressful because I don't want to be too repetitive and it's real estate. It's super boring. If you are buying, what would be a good idea to sell your current? Would it be a good idea? It depends how much money you're going to get and what you would do with the money. But personally, I don't want to sell my houses. I don't want a lot. I want maybe 3 houses, 4 houses, and I'm done. I don't believe in selling real estate. I think that I think there's way more value in owning than versus selling. I mean, it's already picked up speed. It's already started in Houston, in Kingwood, in that local market. It's already started in this market. Okay. Let me see here. Would you suggest people move into an apartment? I mean, if it's between an apartment and paying for an overpriced house that you can't afford, then yes. Or another option is to move in with your parents, uh, which, to be honest with you, can be one of the best decisions an adult can make, because if you can move back in home, or with someone where it puts you in a position to save your money, you guys, I mean, that's a massive, massive blessing. Not everyone has that. But the problem is the problem with doing that is obviously too many people get complacent. Okay, let's see here. So here's a good question. Do I recommend, as long as you're not, so if you plan on refinancing, don't get a 15-year mortgage. If you plan on refinancing, don't get a 15-year. If you plan on holding the property and do hold the property, 15-year, I would recommend for sure, because you pay a lot less interest. Okay. %, under what year? 2019. So I'm going 7% under 2009. I like your style, Wolf. I like your style. Don't get me wrong. And that's not counting the closing costs. When I count the closing costs, it's probably 7% under 2018, to be honest with you. And I don't care. I'm going to be mean, because I've been going through this pain for like a year and a half, man, as far as patience and all that. Okay, I think I'm going to kind of just wrap this up, you guys. What's going on, Mark? Definitely appreciate you, brother. Oh my gosh. Good thing I bought a house. I didn't even read his comment before I put this up. So good thing I was just fired from. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. I did not know that. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Let me know if you were in a tech job, or what happened. Yeah, and Orlando makes a good point here. I mean, buy downs is kind of like a gimmick, you guys. The important thing is the price, right? It's always the price. Okay, let's keep going, you guys. I'm going to try to get some more questions here. I'm really sorry to hear that, Mark. Yep. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate you. Will Texas further cap property? I don't know, man. I hope so, Dan. I really hope so, man. Okay, let me read this one. This one's probably good. Do mortgage holders allow the buyer to specify their own insurance terms, opting out of personal property coverage or reducing property coverage as long as the structure value is covered? Here's the thing. So when you're getting a loan, the lender requires the collateral, which is the house, to be properly insured. Unless you do 20% down on or more on conventional, you have a right to waive escrow, or waive having your escrow or your insurance and taxes in the loan. And I think that's what she's asking there. So most of the time you do have to include it in the loan unless it's 20% down or more on conventional properties. Okay. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate you, man. Good. I'm going to say I'm glad that there's mandatory insurance, because think of what happened if your house got flooded and you didn't have insurance. You're done. Think about that. There's a lot of people that are done. They can't afford to rebuild, and their house is mold. I mean, it's turned into a mold house. So, I don't want to say we should force people, but if it's in a flood zone, you should be required to get flood insurance, man. I mean, I've seen Harvey. Harvey was really, really bad. I get closing costs, but that's after I've got the price. So the number one most important thing, price, and then you work on your incentives, like them paying closing costs, right? I'm not going to show you, Johnny. A lot of people talking about insurance and stuff in the Woodlands. Interesting. A bit of shameless business plugging here, I see. Whatever, it's a free country. Do what you want to do. Do you expect any more rate hikes with so many layoffs? The low unemployment rate looks unreal, man. It does, Sean. I don't get it, man. So ever since quantitative tightening, unemployment has gone down. It's the numbers aren't real. It's not real. I expect more rate hikes for sure. But nothing like, we went through in 2022, which was, 75 to 100 basis point hikes, which is really astonishing if you think about how long it's been since that's happened. Let's keep going here. Exactly. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. I love Johnny so much. That guy is so witty. I mean, he makes me smile all the time. You guys know he's trolling, but he's like reverse trolling. He's acting like a troll. He doesn't really believe what he's saying. All right. Let me keep going here. I'm almost done. I'm at 1 hour and 5, you guys. I'm going to take a couple more. Not too many a few loan questions, not hard questions. I was hoping for some hard questions. All right, here's a good one. Maybe I didn't read it yet. Okay, are agents who are showing prospective properties fiduciaries to the buyer? In old days, cooperating agents and brokers were considered subagents of the listing broker, unless say otherwise. Who is showing? So I'm assuming that I think what Jeffrey is asking is not the actual buyer's agent, like the buyer's agent uses an assistant. But the thing is, what you have to understand, Jeffrey, is the fiduciary duty is from the broker, right? Your contract is not with the agent. It's actually with the broker, and the broker's fiduciary duty is the same, buying or selling. Okay. So very interesting to think about. So yeah, they should have that the same duty there. Okay. So check this out. Here's a good question right here. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is what I did. This is what I did. I have a 2.125%. On my other property that is an investment, I had a 3.25. I cash flow like I think I don't honestly, I think I have to be so careful because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I think the investor shares and investing is way over the line. But unfortunately, I have my own personal goals where it's just a moderate investment. But I would sacrifice that for the better of everyone. So I just want you to know that because money's not everything, but I think that a lot of people will find a positive solution in converting their primary residence, but you don't want to do that right now. Is the worst rental market like ever right now. So generally you want to rent out your houses spring and summer. Okay, let's keep going, guys. I'm going to do a couple more here. That's a good question. And honestly, I'm glad that he brought that up, because I didn't think of that. Which goes to show Zillow is even more ridiculous, because if that's what they're doing, they're using data to come up with a value that's not sold. So the fact that the comps that they're using are just listings, trash, you guys. You want to compare things that have already sold, right? Because anyone can list their house for whatever they want. So I think that's ridiculous. Your credit, no. Depending on if the account is in the derogatory section on your credit profile and date of last activity reports, but essentially, no. I'm just going to say no, your credit doesn't go down. But if you close your credit card, it will go down generally. If you close your credit card, your score will go down. So you're never supposed to pay. You're never supposed to close your credit cards. Appreciate you, Dooster. Okay, let me just go through here quickly, you guys. I'm real sorry. I know I'm skipping a couple of questions just because I'm really trying to get, to the bottom here. Okay, here's one. Here's a good one right here, you guys. So if you had to buy, would you purchase new or pre-existing structure? Would incentives be increased for a new structure? So it just depends on price. It depends on price, right? But basically a resale. Basically, I prefer to purchase a home that's already been built. A couple reasons why. Generally, I'm going to get a better deal. Generally, the neighborhood will already be established, and I don't have to worry about poor quality of construction, right? But basically the price. Although I'll argue, like in 2018, new construction felt good. I'm sorry, I do not, you guys, and I have people ask me all the time. The thing is, guys, I've had people all the time say, I'll fly out to you, Travis. You have so much influence. Let us help you make money. You need a virtual assistant. Send your leads here, send your leads there. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to refer people unless I know them. What the heck? So I don't. I'm so sorry. I don't know anyone in Tampa. I think Michael's out in Miami. Steve's out there as well. Maybe Steve Daria. The only people that I would refer, because I know these people, is in Austin, San Antonio, Houston. Outside of that, if you want me to refer someone to you, it's like gambling. I'd be throwing a dart at a board. You guys know what I mean? That's funny. I'm seeing some of these comments. Yeah, see, this is good. See, if you guys live in Texas or in Florida, the flood zones change all the time. That's why I have flood insurance on all the properties I've ever owned in Texas, even the ones that are not in a flood zone, because these the floodplains change all the time, you guys. I don't. It depends on what your goal is. So you're only going to need an LLC if you have an investing portfolio. But I know there's advantages, you guys. I just don't do it. I had an LLC before. I'm sorry, an S corp before. I understand why people buy through the LLC. Gives you protection from lawsuit as well. It just depends, man. But I don't want to own a lot of property, so I'm just not interested personally. But I would need to do more research to properly answer that question. What agent? And email me. And you guys, I'm really sorry about my email. I know I haven't set the back end of this channel up yet because I've been more focused on the front end and the message. And also, I never expected for YouTube channel to grow like this. So this is all completely new to me, guys. And I hope you understand that. I'm just a normal person. I'm not even smart. I'm just a normal guy. And you guys are listening to me. And thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't go to my head. If anything, it makes me stress out because I have more people that are listening to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't fail these guys. I want to be able to sleep at night. Okay, good. I think that's all the questions, you guys. That's all the questions. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. Happy Monday to you guys. Now, again, I still have to get that KB home video out. I recorded that like 4 days ago, you guys. Watch it this evening. Promise me you'll watch this evening. If you guys don't watch this evening, the algorithm is going to kill my channel. So it is what it is. But I really appreciate you guys a lot. You guys, stay safe out there. Do your due diligence, you guys. And obviously, if you're out there investing in real estate, you already know. I wish you luck, and I hope you